Last time I talked about Creedence Clearwater Revival, and I discovered something that's pretty special. If you take the song Down on the Corner,
out in the streets,
precisely, if you swap in the lyrics for Run Through the Jungle, it all scans perfectly.
Oh.
Allow me to demonstrate.
Are you going to sing? Matt's going to sing.
Thought it was a nightmare, Lord, it was so true. They told me don't go walking slow, the devil's on the loose. Thought I heard a rumbling, calling to my name. 800 million guns are loaded, Satan cries, take aim. Run through the jungle, run through the jungle, run through the jungle, and don't look back to see.
I didn't think Matt was actually going to sing when I said Matt's going to sing.
Matt sang. Here we are in the basement, and I think we should do some unboxing for the unboxing show. This is where we open our mail. Look at the mail. Look at all that mail. And we thank our donors. People go to welcometothebasementshow.com and contribute.
Look at all this mail.
People have done this, and Craig is going to tell you their names.
Catherine, Kieran, Stephanie, Brian, Grant, B.A. Mikey D., Laura, Thomas, Chris, Tyler, John, Mark, Jenny, Kendall, Robert, Jonathan, Danielle, Tito, Christopher, Andrew, Paul, Corey, Sarah, Austin, and Eden. If you like those names, there'll be more later on in the episode.
We got a few postie cards here. This is from Sean, little Lauren Bacall smoldery postcard, who says favorite bogey movie, favorite bogey, and Bacall movie. I'll put aside Casablanca.
Yeah.
Because that's just kind of a given.
It's cheating.
But I would say The Treasure of the Sierra Madre.
I will say The Maltese Falcon.
I haven't seen that in over 20 years.
It is amazing.
I gotta see it again. As for Bogey and Bacall, I would say Key Largo.
I will go for To Have or Have Not. The scene where they first meet is sometimes talking about as though it is the moment where Americans realized that sex was possible.
Is that the whistle?
Yeah.
Yeah. This Great Barrier Reef postcard is from Sam in Austin. Why did I take off my glasses? I have to read the small writing.
The Great Barrier Reef isn't in Austin.
Last night I had a dream that Matt changed the show to be about video games instead of movies, and made Craig sit in a little corner while Matt played God of War. Love the show, and I'm glad Matt didn't change it. Have no fear.
That's basically a description of so much of my college years, going to a friend's house, sitting in a corner, and watching them play video games.
P.S. The stamp is scratch and sniff. Got some popsicles. Yeah, it smells like popsicles, all right.
Right over here.
This is from Hanneke in Holland, who says, my boyfriend and I enjoy your show very much. He even saves episodes so we can watch together. Oh, that's sweet.
That's very sweet.
On our own leather couch.
Hey!
Oh, on our own not leather couch.
Oh.
I've learned a lot about movies and look forward to the next episode. Big thumb kiss and groetjes, which means greetings, from Holland. Holland.
You know, it's love when you don't watch episodes without the other person.
This is a postcard that's very near and dear to my heart. Their wolf. Their castle.
That's our friend Marty Feldman.
This is from Christian from Jacksonville, Florida. I've been with you guys since Nanook and faithful every Friday since. Back in 2015, I survived an abusive relationship, and your show got me through some lonely nights. Know that what you do is more than just a silly YouTube show. Well, that's very sweet of you to say. We're glad that you got through that difficult time, and we wish you the best of luck.
Yes, I'll take the one in the toy bin.
We have heard from Peter before. He lives in Japan, and he sent us the Zen Fish Garden. Hand to the king. King shits, the hand wipes.
The Japanese.
It's another rainy summer vacation in Japan, and I thought you could use another animated postcard with the sounds of summer. Also, I am humbled that the koi pond has been in the background for a year. There it is right there. And let's see what this one does.
Wow. Can we turn off the lights for this one?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Peter.
Hey, you guys send us questions, and some of them we answer.
Baron von Penguin asks, where did they come up with these names? What novel, play, short story, etc. would you love to see as a film? Shortly after I moved to Madison, I saw the play Art. It was the first time I'd seen Jim DeVita on stage, the first time I'd seen Brian Manny on stage. These are two big deal Wisconsin actors.
Yes.
There is such a thing. And it was the first time I saw Harry Waters Jr. on stage. You might know him because he played Marvin, the cousin of Chuck Berry in the movie Back to the Future.
Oh, I went to a party at his apartment once.
I don't know that it would be a good movie.
It would be a tough movie because that is not one that would be easily expanded outside of the room that it takes place in. I would like to see a filmed adaptation of Niccolo Machiavelli's The Mandrake. Jorge Vicente S.E. writes, "What did you guys study in college?" I studied theater.
What was your minor?
I did not have a minor. I was a comprehensive theater major. My mother has always thought this was a mistake, that I could have easily been an English minor and got a teaching job.
I was an English major with a creative writing emphasis and a theater minor. And look at where we are now.
That's right. I kind of wish I was a history minor.
When you get old and retire, go back to school.
Yeah. When I'm old enough to just be the guy who's like, that's not history, that's my youth.
Let's open some of them packages.
Packages?
That green one is from Australia. I suspect it's for you.
Yes. This is from Therese in Mackay, Queensland, Australia.
Alexander Hawk. I sense 2 DVDs. Oh. First one is Beat the Devil, featuring Mr. Bogart.
Yes, it's a John Huston. That's a weird-ass movie. It makes no sense at all.
And then we have an adaptation of Neil Gaiman, Mirror Mask.
Hi, I'm Matt, Craig, and Tona. That's us. Usual package containing another Australian DVD. The Year My Voice Broke. It has Noah Taylor, you know, from Game of Thrones.
Yeah. He died with a falafel in his hand.
Yes, he did. And Licorice, of the black variety. And Buttons!
This isn't just licorice. This is 2 meters of licorice.
Oh.
Whoa.
As an American, what, 6.5 feet? We have this picture of a tower in Sydney. That's a heavy one.
Ooh.
Sometime in your life you come across a postcard that sums up where you are geographically, gastronomically, and spiritually. This is one such postcard. It was a very good crab sandwich. The Big Crab in Marion Vale, Queensland. It's a tricky one. Got it. Good job.
I love crab. I should eat it more often.
Yeah.
I love it. And imitation crab is the worst.
A book. It looks like it's not just for me, but for Lorenzo. It's called Wombat Stew.
It's at this point in the show that I recommend an episode from our back catalog for you to check out or to watch for the first time. The Wild One.
Ah.
Criminally underperformed in the views area. I'm not sure why. It's got Marlon Brando, for God's sake.
Yes.
Young, gorgeous Marlon Brando.
Yeah. And Lee Marvin, who is like, I'm going against the best actor in the world. I'm teeing up. Here we go.
We do a recurring bit regarding the famous quote from that movie. Mm-hmm. And on paper, it seems like a very tired bit, but it actually works really well.
The movie's just feeding this joke to us. It's wonderful.
If you want to know what that bit is, you're going to have to go watch.
Yeah.
I will do the rest of our donors. Kai, Sean, JP, Rebecca, Graham, Bridget, Jared, Reiner, Grace, Barbara, Neil, Sean, Scott, the Harvey brothers, the Factory Boys, Brandon, Malcolm, Benjamin, William, Kevin, Wilson, Dan, Michael, Alexander, David, Christine, and Mara.
Thank you all.
Your support is always appreciated. We've got 2 more packages to open, but before we do that, I'm going to focus on some mail that we got in the past in the form of records. When I get them, I listen to them. I'm going to talk about 2 of them right now. First of all, we have The Clash, Rat Patrol from Fort Bragg. When I first saw this, I thought, cool, a live Clash album. That is not what this is. This is the original version of the album that would become Combat Rock. The band was in turmoil. Joe Strummer was preoccupied by legal things that were happening. The drummer had a nice little heroin habit that he was either dealing with or not dealing with. Either way, you're out of the picture.
Fun. Yeah.
Paul Simonon might have also been on Smack. I'm not sure. But they had to make an album, and Mick Jones said, leave it to me, boys. We have all these recordings. He mixed them together. He did the arrangements. He put it all together. The band hated it, and the label hated it. Mick Jones was heartbroken. They brought in Glyn Johns. He redid the whole thing as a single disc album, and that became Combat Rock.
Ah.
Excuse me, I'm trying to do a show here. There are some original songs on here that I've never heard, and songs that are quite honestly better than Red Angel Dragnet and should have replaced it on that album. I don't like that song.
For a Clash fan, it's a valued addition to the collection.
Next up, we have a set of records that couldn't have a better home than this one. It is called Welcome to the Basement, a spicy mixture from Black and Latin America. This is a collection of various artists. Merle Saunders is on here. David Axelrod is on here, who I'm a big fan of. There are a couple of disco songs on side C that I'm not crazy about, but the rest of it is great party music.
How you're describing it, the album cover doesn't look like...
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't look like what you're describing.
Why would you put these guys?
Yeah, it's like you have Vampire Weekend guy on the left. The rest of them look like they're the Weezer offshoot.
Let's open those boxes.
Boxes! This is from JB's in Lexington, Kentucky.
This is from Timothy in Hayesville, Kansas.
Oh, actually, this is from Russell. I thought I'd send you guys a copy of the LP of the soundtrack to Rocky Horror follow-up.
Oh, yeah.
Shock Treatment.
Shock Treatment, yeah.
Hoping you might watch it for the show, or at least talk about it on Seen It. Thanks, Russell.
Tim says, I've been a fan for a while since watching the Holy Mountain, Putney Swope, and Kurosawa's Dreams episodes. It's always a pleasure every Friday to see the goings-on of two film and music fanatics such as yourselves. I have sent you both a few things you might enjoy. For Craig, we have this pack of rock and roll high school postcards.
Yes.
Are they all the same or are they all different? Open that up.
Oh, it's not just Rock and Roll High School. Buddy Holly's story.
Oh, so it's a bunch of different movie posters.
Yeah, looks like they're all music-themed. American Pop, Rust Never Sleeps, Star is Born, the 70s version. Oh, one of my all-time favorites. It's not making sense.
You may ask yourself, why such a big suit? You may ask yourself, can this suit be taken in a little? You may ask yourself, did this store have any mirrors?
That's Brad Hall reference. Not Brad Hall.
Rich Hall.
Rich Hall reference.
Tim sends 2 records for me. One is Shel Silverstein, Songs and Stories. You'll probably want to borrow this one.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
It's got a song called Peanut Butter Sandwich on it.
May not be entirely appropriate. Shel Silverstein didn't just write for kids.
Oh, Never Bite a Married Woman on the Thigh. Yeah, maybe this one isn't for kids. Then we've got a little album by Jello Biafra called I Blow Minds for a Living. Oh, it's got Die for Oil Sucker. I had that on cassette when it came out. Before I go, what do you think of the John Cusack film High Fidelity? It's one of my faves and is somewhat set in a record store.
I am really impressed with the adaptation into film form. They kept the spirit of the book so well, even though they moved it from England to Chicago.
I've read the book as well. I actually think the movie is better than the book.
Oh. A number of people told me that when they read High Fidelity or saw the movie, they thought of me. They also said the same thing about a Boy. I have to say that if you are being compared to a lead character in a Nick Hornsby novel, change your life. It's not someplace you want to be.
As always, we thank you for your support, whether it is donating on our website, whether it is sending us mail, whether it's just watching our show. We love doing this for you, and we hope that you will keep watching. You can watch the next episode of Welcome to the Basement this coming Friday, and now you can see this.
Check it out!
I was thinking about Stephen King. Dozens of his novels have been turned into movies. Novels, short stories, whatever. Mm-hmm. So I imagine that every time he writes a book, it's immediately snapped up by a studio. They buy the option.
Yeah.
I wonder if some studio has an option for his on-writing book. And if you could make that into a movie, that would be pretty extraordinary.
Well, the first half of On Writing is basically his memoir.
He tells a lot of stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.